Heroes, how are we? Welcome back to another episode of the Hashtag Show. I am Scott Gibson. Who else would I be at this point? Hope you're well. Hope you're safe. This episode, very special guest. Very, very special guest. The hardest working man in Scotland. The hardest working Scottish DJ on the planet, quite possibly. Today's guest is the wonderful, the incredible, the unstoppable, the powerful Davie Forbes. But try to get Davie back in before. Those of you who are heroes will know that the Lost Tapes episode of Davie Forbes is out on the Patreon. I had Davie in way back at the start when we first came in the studio. And as a running theme with the Hashtag Show, a major technical fault meant that we lost about an hour and a half of the previous episode recording when Davie was in. So I was desperate to get Davie back. And I finally managed to get him back in the studio. So this is an amazing conversation. It's a great chat. It's probably slightly different than the kind of last two. Probably the last two that I've done with the Andys, Andy Haldane and the wonderful Andy Kokoza. Both episodes of which the feedback's been great. Thank you to everybody who has watched, everybody who has shared, who has commented on the reels that have gone up on the socials. I hope you are following Andy Haldane and Andy Kokoza, The Rhythmic State. Check out their work and please do share their episodes on your own social medias. You can obviously get the full extended episodes of both those guys, Andy Haldane and Andy Kokoza for The Rhythmic State. Available on Patreon, patreon.com/the hashtag show if you want to check out the full episodes. So this time I had Davie in, we sat down, and a little bit different this one, because I know Davie, he's my pal, he's my buddy. So this conversation, I feel, listening back to the first part, feels a little bit different. There's a wee bit more conversation in it, a bit more chat, and then we go into some details and some depth about Davie's music career, starting off in the Mayfair Club in Glasgow, a few of his heroes when he was young. We talk a little bit about also the kind of technical side of DJing, and then we go on to look at kind of where Davie is now, and we talk about A State of Trance and what it's like to perform at that level and how he prepares for that. And there's quite an interesting conversation at one point as well, about how he went for a long time without playing his own tracks. So all of that's to come up. Now, the conversation in total, the episode, it's over 3 hours long. It's an absolute beast. It's a monster. It's a beauty. So what I've done is, I've decided this time, I'm going to split it into 2 parts. Because I think that 3 hours is probably a long time to sit down and go through it. And to those of you who watched all of the last episode with Andy Kokoza, which was almost 3 hours as well, thank you very much. I hope you enjoyed it. So this one, part 1, for the heroes, the full thing, it's about 90 minutes to an hour and a half. So enjoy this one if you're on the Patreon. The council, you've got a bit. You've got a bit. So if you're listening to this on Spotify and you're thinking, Gibbo promised me an hour and a half, and we've not got an hour and a half, it's because the hour and a half goes to the heroes on Patreon. Patreon.com/the hashtag show. I don't know how many times to tell you. It's the best way to support the podcast. It's the best way to support the studio. Keep everything going. Keep all the mics switched on. So this week is part 1, and next week we'll put out part 2, which will be another hour and a half for the heroes and a wee bit for the scum. So sit back, relax, and get ready to enjoy the part 1 of Davie Forbes, the wonderful Davie Forbes. I hope you enjoy it. Get in touch, let me know, and look after yourself, stay safe, enjoy part 1, and look out for part 2 coming very soon. So less ramblings from me, let's go on with the episode. Heroes, council, listeners alike, wherever you are, wherever you're watching, wherever you're listening, enjoy part 1 of the incredible Davie Forbes.
Welcome to the hashtag show. Everyone's welcome, no one is safe. Welcome to the hashtag show. Winter is coming, but we hate snowflakes. Welcome to the hashtag hashtag show. Chucky Arla, we are the people. You should become a hashtag hero. You should become a hashtag hero. You should become a hashtag hero. The hashtag show.
In fact, it was when Andy Haldy was in, he's asking me about this, and I was like, mate, I buy it, I plug it in, and I put it on. I couldn't tell you. So mics were all cutting out and stuff like that, and I'm going, reading things, talking about noise gates and everything. I'm like, what the fuck's a noise gate, man? So I think I've managed to figure it out now, so you'll be fine. You can fucking lean back.
That'd have been
mate.
a good one. I've not watched it yet, but that Andy's would have been a good one.
See, he's I don't think he realises like what he was involved with, if that makes sense. I think he just like, I mean, obviously he knows because he was there, but I don't think he, because somebody put a comment on the YouTube channel going like this, that people need to watch, this guy's been responsible for like fucking Scottish Rave scene, the amount of stuff that's going through, and I'm going, aye, like the amount of people.
Aye, I've been through Apollo Studios as well. I mean, taking all my gear in, a whole studio in, and just plugging it into his shit, press and play, and he would fucking do a bit of engineering on it.
Where was
So
that then, man?
I can't mind. It was when we done a vocal track. We done a couple of tracks. One was called Forever and a Day on Club Scene. Obviously, I didn't have the facilities to record the vocals and stuff like that.
Right.
You know? So we just took it into his studio and he fucking done his magic with it. You know,
It's when he talks about like Mal and all that, bringing in their keyboards and everything, man, plugging it. Like it's mad to think like for what people did in the studio then to what they do now. When like you rock up and it's like a full fucking Universal Studios production thing. Like even sometimes when you've put up stuff. In fact, do you know what it was? It was when you and McVicker put up a video of see the tracks he done for the Scotland team. Right, and I'm watching that in the studio. I'm like, this is like fucking Hollywood productions, man.
I worked in that studio for about 5 years.
Right.
So I did that Gorbal sound.
Aye.
And that Studio One, what a space that is.
It's unbelievable, man. Aye.
I was in there we done a wee writing camp with Hannah in there about 6 months ago as well. It's great, just an amazing space. So as they've got they've got 3 studios. I don't know what they've done in the third one, but Studio 2 has the mixing desk in it from Decca.
Right.
And they wrote Ness and Dormer on that desk.
No way. Fucking that fucking news in that studio in the Gorbals.
Aye.
That is insane, man.
Aye.
Even things like that, like having like mixing desks that have gone through all that history.
I mean, I think that was the desk. I don't know if this is true, but the desk in Studio One in the Gorbals, I think, was the last desk that Rupert Neve had his hands on.
Fuck's sake.
So he did. I think something like that desk is something. I don't know, maybe £250,000 just for that desk.
Fucking hell, man.
I think that studio cost that an absolute fortune. So that Studio One's based on. I should know the guy's name. Studio One's based on the guy from Dire Straits.
Right.
Can't mind the guy's name. What's the guy's name? Top did for Dire Straits. He's got a studio down south, and I think one of the guys from the people that were involved in building that studio went down and checked out his studio. So.
Do you know, I can remember years ago, right? This is fucking daft, man. Nothing to do with rave music, but watching that documentary about Meatloaf, right? And the cunt was sitting in front of a big fuck off mixing desk. So he was in the studio where they recorded Bat Out of Hell.
Yeah.
And like, that's the first time I realised, as naive as it was, that every fucking one of the channels had a different thing on it. And it's the first time I've seen somebody going through and like, he just kept taking, so he was talking about how their sound was all like musical theatre. So it was all like heavy production.
Yeah.
So he was going through the songs playing, and he's going through every single channel and taking it off, and then you can hear layers of the Bat Out of Hell coming out, and then the last thing is just his vocals, and see just that vocal on its own, you're like, holy fucking shit, man, it's unbelievable. But to be able to do that on a desk,
I mean, these guys back in the day would have been, their ears are just superhuman a lot of the time. I get guys in the studio and they're getting, how can you even hear that? I can't hear what you're talking about. But there's just something.
Sometimes, but they'll just let the bam up and they'll try to let him pose themselves, going, could you take 5 dB off that? And then you touch it and nothing moves. That's you, mate.
I just put my on the slide. I've done that. Maybe back in the day I've done that, everything's digital and in the box now, but you can still do that. You just entertain it, don't you?
See, that's the best way to do it, man.
Just entertain it.
Can I get a wee bit off the hi-hat? There you go, mate. Actually, how's that sounding? Perfect. No fucking hell, that fucking arsehole. Oops, that mic on. Do you get folks still in the studio now, like come in for a couple of days or whatever, and you're just going?
Aye. Oh yeah, I do.
Do you ever get people who come in now and you're like, I imagine if somebody's coming to shoot it, what with you, right? They're bringing in a track or a couple of tracks. Do you ever get it where like you're going, this is done? Like I don't know why you're here. Is it more like you're just helping them go through it?
No, I wouldn't say. I mean, there's only one wee guy, and he's not even a big producer. There's a wee guy called Alan Wise. I think he's from Stirling way, Alwa or something like that. And and a couple of times he's brought stuff in.
Right.
He's not been in for a while, a good couple of years, but he's probably the only guy that's come in. And I'm giving it. It just has to be brightened up, it just.
Aye.
But he's not consistent enough. He's got a full-time job. He's got kids.
Right. Okay.
So he's not consistent enough. I releasing music, and I'm always saying to him every time I see him, you need to get on this shit. You need to get made out, and But he just treats it as a hobby. So
It's
that's his
I
thing.
mean, with anything being like creative, and it's hard finding the time and then finding like that time to align up with like your creative mind as well. Do you mean? Because I can't do. I've tried numerous things over the years with writing to go like, right, every Monday I'm going to sit for 2 hours with my fucking notepad, and I'm going to write stand up, or I'm going to write another scene or a script over.
Yeah.
You can't. I literally cannot do it, man. If I feel like if I force myself to do it, it can't be done. Whereas I could do nothing for 8 months and think the fucking well's dried up, I'll never write a new bit of material, and then you just get an idea, and before you know it, you've got half an hour's worth of stuff.
And did you find when you're doing it, because for me, I need to be in the studio every day. It's like, I just keep on going back to kind of football analogies. I need to be training every day.
Right.
I need to be in the studio every day. I need to be doing something. I mean, I've got guys in the studio, and you need a quick turnaround. You're doing things that you wouldn't necessarily, you procrastinate over a wee bit more, but because you need quick. Right, I need a kick drum, or I need a sound, or I need that. And you're getting it, mentally, you're banking stuff, you're getting it, I'm going to just set that aside.
Right, okay.
Skip by it sort of thing, and shouldn't be said. Are we recording?
Aye, but I can scribble this bit. We'll just put 5 minutes at the end.
Aye, so
You'll see all your studio days are getting cancelled.
I'll mentally bank that sound, right, I'm going to use that for another song, you know what I mean? Right, I know, I mind doing a track for a boy, and I've been trying to get a tune on FSOE for maybe a couple of years.
FSOE? What is that?
It's Alain Feeler's record label,
Right.
A couple of trans guys from Egypt, and I liked the label, and I liked their sound. Incredible guys, brilliant producers, brilliant human beings as well. And I wrote a tune for a guy,
right?
And I went and got the bass line. So I was using Cubase, and I jumped over to Logic to grab a kick and a bass. No, it was two bass line layers, and I pulled it across, exported them, then opened up Cubase again, pulled it in, and as soon as I done that, I was getting, I'm going to sign a track to FSOE. I knew that I'd kind of got the final piece of the puzzle,
right? Okay,
to get a track on that label. Next day, as soon as he left, boom, wrote a track, sent it to FSOE, signed it. I knew mentally right away, I've got this.
That's what I'm looking for.
Aye, it's just like that kind of taste.
Aye. But then I suppose, like, well, do you find, see if you're in the studio and you're working with someone else, do you find that you, like, the fact that you're in there every day, that's why you're doing that, so that you're on it for someone else? Like, it's quicker for you to make a decision. Like, that's what I mean. Like, do you procrastinate over your own stuff more than
slightly? Sometimes I just go through purple patches. I'm just fucking smashing them out.
Aye.
You know, everything I touch, every sound I touch is just. And I think I've done that for not being fucking big-headed or anything like that, but I think I've done that over the last 4 years. Everything that I've released is, you know your tracks are doing well when there's loads of other people playing them, rather than yourself playing them. You know, and there's loads of other guys from different genres of music playing your music. You know, so I think I've had a good, the last maybe 3 or 4 years, I've had a good run at it, music-wise, and you know, I watched this the other day. That's a good point. That, you know, for decision making, you know, being quick at making decisions, even when you're DJing, quick at making decisions, reading the room, boom. Right, I'm not going to play that. I'm going to play this. I'm going to do this. I'm going to do that. You know, so I think DJing and producing, there is a lot of quick decision making to be done. You know, and that's actually, I don't know, I can't remember what DJ I was watching the other day. I don't know if it was a podcast or a YouTube video, and they were talking about the exact thing about, you know, being a DJ, you need to be able to make decisions. It was Jeff Mills.
Right, okay.
So it was Jeff Mills just talking about decision making as a DJ and reading a room and, you know, knowing what to play, when to play, and what time to play it and stuff like that. You know?
But that must come with confidence and with time as well.
No, it doesn't matter how long you've been in the studio. If somebody's in, you know, it doesn't matter how many times they've been in the studio. If they can, you know, if I can learn anything from them, you know, whether it be, I don't know, at all, it doesn't matter, you know, anything.
It must be harder with the speed of technology changing as well.
Aye, you know, I'm one for embracing it all. You know, obviously when we were moving from analog to digital, there's a wee bit of a pushback, you know, going from vinyl to CDs and now from CDs to USBs. I think early 2000s, you know, I know it's a bit of vinyl, but I soon learned, you know, that wasn't the case. So I think just for me moving forward, and as I've got older, you know, I think you just need to embrace every bit of technology can, and no rely on that technology solely, you know, to write music for you, but just use it as another bit of kit to make your music an extra 2, 3, 4, 5% better. It's mad, but even right from the beginning for me, you know, it was I think the passion overrode everything else. I didn't think about a financial gain or anything like that. You know, it was just, I was obsessed with music. I was obsessed with these mad sounds that I was hearing in the early 90s, you know, 1990. Just giving it what's that? It's a fucking Hoover sound. Joey Beltrams and Dominator and stuff like Human Resource and, you know, Mentasm on R&S and stuff like that. Just giving it, Jesus Christ. You know, that was sparked my imagination. I was always into music before that, doing breakdancing, but subconsciously when I look back, I was into the breakdancing carry on, but I think it was the music that got me more involved in it rather than the full culture. I think, you know, it's something that was against the grain, and, you know, flying about in BMXs and wearing the trackies and getting bruises in your shoulder and getting the social services went to the house because you've got bruises in your shoulder and they think you're getting beat up off your parents.
You're like, you gotta watch yourself one day.
You're doing in the foyer, bump with the high flats, fucking doing windmills. Or trying to anyway.
I think if you go into any creative industry with the outset of I'm going to make money here, I think that affects your art.
I think so.
I think if you go in with it, this is just to be creative, and then hopefully the dream is I can make this fucking passionate.
That's it. I was just obsessed with it. I'm still fucking obsessed with it. You know, the full thing.
Yeah, I think obviously I was trying to kind of think of some other things than what we talked about last time, but since you were last in for the old Lost tapes, you may be, no, I don't know for sure, right? I haven't researched this enough, but I think you may be the only DJ in the world that has closed A State of Trance and played football at his national stadium. I think you may be the only DJ in the world, mate.
That's a nice statistic, that.
That should be on the bio straight away. Straight away, dude. The only one, mate. The only one. And I'll even go as far as to say I don't think there'll ever be another one. The national stadium, dude, and close State of Trance.
Aye.
So the question's got to be, what was better? No, I also saw, were you not playing in some fucking Scottish pensioners cup final thing as well? What was that all about?
Oh, that's the
Scotland, over 60s team?
Seniors. So it was.
You were the fucking the best looking fit wise out of all of them, man, when I saw that lineup.
They're all ex-pros.
Are they? Right, okay.
A lot of them are all ex-football players. You know, but I can't remember their names.
Well, when I saw the lineup,
Mark Roberts, who used to play for Kilmarnock and stuff like that, and I don't think you had Stevie, who was the Dumbarton manager. And I don't really, because I don't think a lot of them are maybe top Premiership. I hope, you know, I'm not doing a disservice to any of them, you know, but, you know, I think the majority of them have played at a top level,
right?
A way higher level than what I've played at anyway, you know, and it was just good to be, it was good to...
so how did that, the seniors game, how did that
go? So I play over 35s, and the guy Stuart Maxwell, who's the Pollock manager,
right?
And I play football with him,
right?
You know, and Maxie says, "Look, do you fancy coming along, you know, to the Scotland seniors thing?" And I was giving it, aye, why not? You know, then I went along. It was a great bunch of boys. Maxie's great guy, cracking football player, and we ended up going and play a Four Nations tournament,
right? Okay.
Every year. So this year it was getting held in Scotland, so it was down in Largs obviously, Wales, Ireland, and England were playing, and Jude Bellingham's dad was playing with the England team.
Right, fucking
He
hell.
was, aye. So,
I mean, he could be shite for all I know.
no, he was really
Is
good.
he? Oh, right,
Aye,
okay.
He was class, so he
His
was.
two boys are good,
aye,
but he could be mince.
he was really good, so he was. And it was a great experience.
That
So-
setup doing in Lags is
That's-
phenomenal,
I mean,
man.
I played in the Scotland amateur team when I was younger,
Right,
so
fucking hell.
I'd been down there, and I played in kind of UEFA tournaments with the Scotland amateurs when I was in my 20s and stuff like that. So I mean, it's a great facility. It's incredible. Do you know? I said I was going to chuck it this year, so I did.
What's making you think that? What's making you chuck
I
it?
suppose you're just getting to. I suppose last season I was away majority of the
Aye.
season just touring, and I wasn't getting the game time.
Right.
I've got to remember my age as well. I've got to remember that.
I bet, mate, you're a young fucking 65.
I think I am a young 65. Aye.
You still got a good head of hair in you, mate.
Aye, I've still got a couple of years left in me yet. Maybe just.
Before you need to get into the walking football.
That's exactly.
You don't want to go down that road.
I'll be the Ronaldo of walking
Mate, you will be. Aye. Frank McAvenny of the walking football.
Oh man, aye. No, that was it. Get back to your question about A State of Trance or
Hamden.
Hampden. That was my third time playing at Hampden in the
Was it?
Scottish final. Aye.
So right, go. What was the first then? What was the first
First
one?
year I won it in 2005.
Right. Okay.
Funny story.
Mhm.
I had a gig. Me and Mal had a gig in the Arches the night before.
Right. Okay.
And I'm like, Gaffer, this is my first time playing in the Arches. I've got to play. And he's like, you're joking, Forbes. And I'm getting it, look, Gaffer.
This is the night before a cup final.
Aye, this is the night before the Scottish Cup final at Hampden.
Brilliant.
This is the first time the club, obviously Drumchapel Amateurs, is famous amateur club,
Aye,
produced umpteen Scottish internationals. Aye, so I'm in the Arches, and the night before we were staying at a hotel in East Kilbride.
Right.
And I remember I had a wee Ford Puma at the time, and I finished in the Arches at 3 o'clock or something like that, and I'm horsing it back to East Kilbride, flying. So I gets back, Graham Diamond, Charlie Devlin, Gaffer in the coach there, getting it. I don't know if we can start you, and I'm getting it. But the first and only time I was getting it, Gaffer, you can't. I'm the best player in the team.
Do you know who the fuck I am?
It's the first time I've ever said that.
Aye.
I'm the fucking best player in the team. You've got
Yep.
to start me tomorrow.
Yep.
And see, looking back, we won 1-0. We won
Right.
the Scottish Cup and stuff like that. It was a great day, incredible for the club, incredible for all the players. But looking back, I probably shouldn't have done the gig, and I was a bit fucked. I was a bit.
But
Still
then,
a bit
I suppose at that
lethargic,
time, so is there an element of like, because it's the first time playing it? Because I've certainly had times where, see, the first time I've played like certain clubs or meaningful gigs,
Yeah.
there's a bit in my head going, I might not be back here, so I've got to.
Yeah. Aye. Looking back.
Obviously, now if you knew the career that you would have, you got,
Aye.
I'll be fucking back at the Arches.
Aye, I'll be back at the Arches.
Don't you worry.
Yes. Aye. Yeah.
But then you
I
may
wish-
have known you would also be back at Hampden.
Yeah. I don't know if Mal was there that night. I don't know if he was on holiday. I think he might have been on holiday because if I'd have been booked, he'd have been playing as well.
Mm-hmm.
The twos would have been playing. I think he was maybe in Italy, in Maria at the time. So I think that might have been. No, I'm lying. I'm lying. He was
all right.
there because he was at the game.
Was he?
Aye, I'm lying.
Okay.
Aye, he was at the game. So he was. He watched the game. So I'm lying.
So what
there.
time did you come out the Arches at?
I think it might have been 3 a.m. or something.
Holy
like that.
fuck. And then you're back to East Kilbride,
Back
in
to
the
East
hotel,
Kilbride,
and then
in the
you've been
hotel.
up probably like 4 or 5 hours sleep, no, even that.
Aye, just still wired, just
Aye.
getting adrenaline still going for the gig. Then
You
we're
must have been relieved that you won.
Aye, we only won 1-0, no. But hey, you only need to win it
Right.
once.
Doesn't matter, exactly.
But unfortunately, the other 2 times that I've been at Hampden in the last 4 years, I think we've been to the Scottish final twice. We were up 3-0 at half time, mate. We ended up getting beat 4. No, we ended up getting beaten penalties.
Fuck's sake.
For Toll Cross from Edinburgh. Aye. Then last one there we get beat off a short lease.
See, now what you should have done is you should have had a gig the night before the final
Aye,
every time.
You're right.
Now
aye.
you've been given the perfect blueprint,
Yep.
right? Davie Forbes performs well under no sleep
Aye,
and
even
high
just,
stress.
Aye, just even sleep outside the Arches in the shirt.
Aye, yeah.
And get
Ju-
him at
under
4.
the wee underpass.
Aye, just
Aye,
go him at 4.
aye.
Aye, get a wee brew with all the,
That's
all
it.
the troops.
Straight
down
in. Aye, cut of tea, strong bovril,
there.
over to Hampden.
Yeah. Aye, wee McDonald's on the corner.
That's it, mate. Do you mean your daily intake of fat and sugar and one packed breakfast and then go and win 1-0?
I think for me, playing football keeps me out the studio, because if not, I'll just be in the studio 24/7. You know, so it's always been I think people think I'm for drum chapel.
Aye.
So they do, and it's probably going to be a surprise to a lot of people to find out that I'm not actually for drum chapel. I'm for the north of the city. I grew up in Sighthill.
Right.
You know, all my family grew up in
Unlucky.
Poso. Aye, I mean, it was, do you know what? It was
Somebody's got to.
yeah, but I'll give it this. It was an incredible place. Look, it's rough. You know, it's a housing scheme like any other housing scheme in Scotland and in Glasgow. But it was a brilliant place. I mean, the facilities we had in Sighthill, from even just football, the community centre we had. The community centre was ran by an organisation called Drake Fellowship, which done outward bound courses all over the north of Scotland and stuff like that. So we had incredible opportunities. We had our own grass pitches, we had floodlights. So it was a brilliant place to grow up. But I don't know where I was going with that. But
That's fine. I always think, see, when you get like rough bits of Glasgow or rough bits of anywhere, I think a lot is down to people's mindset. I think see if you can come out of that and leave, like you finish school or you get an apprenticeship and then you move out of there. I didn't grow up in I stayed in Castlemont for a year, but we didn't grow up in a kind of rough bit, but we certainly grew up. It's not until you get older, right? And like, so my mum was single parent, and then when you get older, now I've got a stepdaughter, and you start to hear the stories, and you put two and two together, and you go, fucking hell, my mum was going through a lot. You don't realise it, right? Like, fucking everything was paid for, the weddings are happy, and she's doing £20 a week, right? Yeah. You don't know that at the time. It's not until you get older, and I've got a stepdaughter now, but like, you have a mortgage and you have bills, and you realise, fuck, my mum and dad must have been going through a hell of a lot, because we're going through it now. Yeah. So I think if people can come from a harder upbringing and you get through it, you suddenly realise that problems people think they have are not actually problems, and they don't actually really know what struggle is. And you can have it one or two ways. You can go in yourself and make it affect you, or you can go, listen, this is just where I am, and there's good people here, there's good things here, go to see the positives and push through it.
Absolutely. I mean, the point of the site hall is, again, I remember now that people think because I played football out in Drumchapel all my days for the last 30 years, they think I'm from.
Well, how did you start playing football in Drumchapel?
I was playing for a team called St Mungo's up in, they play up next to, up at Tappa Bishop Briggs on Loretto playing fields. So I was with Rangers when I was younger, just the boys club and stuff like that. Then I joined the army, came out the army, I wanted to be a DJ, started raving, DJing. I got to about 20 and I wanted to start playing football again. Started playing football. Ended up at St Mungo's, played a game against Drumchapel, and the chairman at the time, that was the founder of Drumchapel Amateurs, a guy called Douglas Smith, very famous guy. He was in the Amateur Football Association. He used to come and watch the games, obviously, with Drumchapel, and I knew a couple of boys that played with Drumchapel at the time, and I played 5-a-sides with them down the pits in Toonhead, and I was only about 22, I think, and they asked me to come along, and I've been there ever since.
Fucking hell, man.
It's 30 years. I'm 52 now.
You must have a plaque up in Drumchapel, surely.
No, I've not.
There needs to be, as you go through the door, there needs to be some kind of fucking memorial.
But it's just a huge part of my life.
Aye.
The club's just honestly, it's a huge part of my life, and it's amazing. I think playing football or any sport for that matter, I think playing it is a huge part. It's a huge and it's an integral part. You know, we want to play football, but it's the people you meet.
Aye.
You know, all the mates that you meet. You know, all the guys. You know, my daughter's you know, you bump into somebody, and you know, a lot of people know me through the music industry in Glasgow and Scotland and wherever else. But the amount of people that I meet that I've kicked on a Saturday, you know, that have kicked shit out each other, you know, that way, and hated each other, but we were winners. You know, and now we're playing over 35s together or over 40s, and you know, we're the best of mates. You know, it's just, you know, there's no point in playing if you don't, in my eyes.
You don't try and win.
There's no point in playing if you don't want to win. And I think Drumchapel Amateurs for me has been an integral part of my life. Is as important to me as the music's been.
Well, we were talking briefly before we kind of started about, I was telling you how I've started this new job and it's good being around guys again. There's obviously an element as well about having a job that's creative, that there is a loneliness to it. There's a lot of the time when you are alone, and people maybe don't realise how that can affect you. But also people don't realise the different aspects of loneliness, because loneliness doesn't mean it's just you yourself, like in the studio, I'm writing or I'm editing, or you're in your studio and you're producing or you're mixing. There can times be a loneliness even at gigs. Like I've done gigs before where a few 100,000 people there. Yourself, when it's just you on the decks or it's just me on stage, there's a loneliness to that as well that people don't understand. And maybe you need that, like you need the football, you need that kind of male engagement where you're ripping the piss at each other and you're having a laugh. And some people for the outside might see that and go, "Oh, that's toxic and aggressive." You're like, no, we need that. I think as a guy, you need to have that banter. And we call it banter. Some people will say it's toxic masculinity. Like, no, I need somebody to fucking say I've got a wee cock and take a piss at me. You do need that.
I think you do. I think you do need that. I mean, again, the music industry, although you're playing to tens of thousands of people at times, you know, it's a solitary profession. I think you know, I'm sitting in the studio daily on my own, like you are, you know, writing for your shows, and I'm writing music for my shows, sort of thing. Then you're touring. I was away.
You're just back for Asia, aren't you?
I was away there in Asia, played Malaysia, Taiwan and Bangkok, but it was good. I mean, that's why I always like touring with Mark, because we've known each other 30 years and you know, we're like brothers sort of thing, so it's always good. A lot of the time when you're touring, fortunately, I'm with somebody that I know, i.e. Mark. So David Russ was with us. He done the Malaysia gig as well, and we had the gig in Bangkok, and it was brilliant. What a laugh. But Scott Brown was in Thailand at the same time.
Right, okay.
So he was there on holiday.
Yep.
So we end up hanging about together, you know, and it was what a laugh it was, you know. It was great, you know. So that kind of took up your time. You
The
know,
stuff you were posting on Instagram, like the tour looked amazing, man.
It was unbelievable. I mean, I love Asia. It's just an amazing place, whether it be Vietnam, Malaysia, Bangkok, Taiwan, for that matter. You know, it's just an incredible part of the world.
What's the maddest shit you had out there?
See, Rusty and Scott, and even Matt for that matter, will be sitting, if they are watching this, laughing because I'm fussy.
Right, okay. Now, I would be the exact same, mate.
I'm fussy.
See, you see people eating like scorpions and all that. Why? What are you doing? You're telling me there's no McDonald's in fucking Thailand? What are you doing that for? I wouldn't have any of that nonsense.
Nah.
And see, it's all like, oh, it's culture and you got to get involved. Go fuck yourself.
Yeah, me and Rusty we were in doing the Chinatown part of Bangkok. I think it's another main drag, and we were looking for something to eat, and we went into a place, you know, and we're going through the menu, and it was fucking carnage. And Rusty's like, you know, do you like a bowl? And I was keen at, mate, of course I like. There's no get tomato sauce in here. And he's like, I had a feeling, and I was like, mate, we're out of here.
Because what are you going to do? No, because then
not a thing there that will pass my lips. Not a thing.
No, because then also it becomes like, especially like with food and things like that, then it's offensive then if you, because I've had it before when I've been like abroad with things. I even had it once in Canada when we were out fucking touring it there, and this thing came down and they're going, this is some fuck. I'm like, what the fuck? Like, I can't, like, just fucking, it was like I want to say it was ramen, but it wasn't, right? It's some just fucking globs of fat in it. I'm like, I'll take 2 drinks of the soup and then just make up an excuse, but like, don't offend him. I'm like, I feel offended that this has been put down here. But I can't do shit like that, man.
In Taiwan, Lucas took us out with a couple of other boys that were there at the gig, and we ordered chicken.
Right.
But the heat and all that was still
of course
on
it is,
the feet and all that was still in.
They're the best bits.
They're ripping the feet off and the head and stuff like that, and I'm just getting it. But it was great. I mean, the hospitality is incredible. Incredible people. You know, it's just that...
Just cut the heat off before you put it in dinner.
It's just me, I'm quite a fussy eater. Mal used to laugh about it all the time. Mark, he just... he knows exactly what it... And now Rusty's accustomed to it.
Mate, well, I'm fully in your camp. I think that's the way to be.
I'm not following chicken nuggets and chips when I go into...
No, but you know what I mean? That would be my first choice.
I'm not quite as bad as that, but...
You travelling like you ain't bought a tomato sauce now.
I'm quite a wee bit fussy.
You like what you like.
I don't do dairy and stuff like that. I don't eat cheese. I can't eat pizzas and stuff like that.
What? Now you're getting weird. So you should have just stopped the chicken nuggets. What do you mean you can't eat pizza?
Because I don't like cheese.
What are you talking about?
I know.
What do you mean you don't like cheese?
I don't like cheese. I don't like milk, butter.
How can you? No, my
But I
wife
love
doesn't like
cakes.
butter, and well, there you go. You're full of shite.
Exactly. I like everything that's put
Right.
into cake.
So you just so if we could get a pizza cake,
You'd
be fine.
Probably that was shaped like an empire biscuit and tasted like an empire biscuit.
so you want an empire biscuit?
Aye, you know. So I like all the dairy stuff that goes into.
Into a cake. You just don't like it in that form.
Aye.
See, that's what my stepdaughter
That's
says.
it. I can't
So
eat-
she'll have mince, like a burger, loves a burger,
Yeah.
right? But she won't eat mince and potatoes.
Right. Okay. I get that.
Don't like it in that format.
I get that.
And I'm like, what are you talking? That's
No.
that's our go-to. I
get
don't like
that.
it in that format.
This is a weird one, right?
Brilliant, mate. This is what this is for. It's a safe space, Davey.
Okay. Now you get the wee packs of, you get 2 round sausages, you get the black pudding,
The breakfast packs.
the wee breakfast
Yes.
pack. I don't mind the round sausage, right?
Who doesn't?
Right, I don't mind a round sausage, right? But I don't like a rolling square sausage.
Okay.
They taste different. People get, no, they don't. They taste the same. I'm getting it. No, they taste different.
Right.
I know they taste different.
Listen,
So I could eat,
you could
As
eat a
long as
roll and ruin sausage.
as long as it's burnt like the back of a Darwinese native's neck.
Like the mahogany in the Rangers trophy room. As long as it's dark as that.
Exactly.
Right.
But I don't like a rolling square sausage. I don't like square sausage.
Now, as somebody who's grown up in the west of Scotland, that must have been a difficult thing to navigate over the years.
Aye,
Now, how do you feel about Link?
See, this is the thing,
Right.
right?
Now we're getting into
Now
it.
we're
Right,
getting
get here.
deep,
Now
you know
we're
what I
getting
mean?
deep. Aye.
I love a wee Morrison's breakfast. I love a Link sausage at a
You
Morrison's.
can't go wrong with that.
But I don't eat Links anywhere else.
So it's got to be a Morrison's Link.
Go to be Morrison's. Whatever way they cook them, I don't know.
Mate, who knows?
I don't know.
Who knows what
But-
goes on behind that tiled wall?
Exactly. Exactly.
What fucking mystery is
That's,
in there?
Here, there's plenty of other supermarkets out there. I'm just
Oh,
going to
aye.
say that.
But
know.
none of them do have cooked breakfast.
Aye, that's true.
That's what separates Morrison's for the rest.
For the rest,
right?
aye.
You can take your ma down, send her out and do her shopping down Market Street,
Yeah.
and you could sit and have a fucking £10 fry up.
While we're on the subject,
Carry on.
I like eggs, but I don't like the yolk.
No, I've
Is that
got
right?
previous with that. My father's the same. Wouldn't eat a yolk.
No.
The wife doesn't eat a yolk either. I'll take the yolk. I would rather have. See if there's any scientists watching. See if you could invent an egg that's just yolk.
Yeah.
That would be right up my street.
All right, okay.
Right, I would rather be a yolk than a white.
But my daughter informed me the other day
Uh huh.
that there's people that get scrambled egg with just the white.
Aye, just egg white.
Didn't know that.
Hey, that's like the fucking Beverly Hills mob. That's
know
it.
Didn't know that.
I
That's
mean-
like I watched Gordon Ramsay thing last night. There was a woman that owned a restaurant that didn't know that soup of the day meant
She thought what it was a type of soup.
no, she just thought that was the soup that they were serving
All
on
right, the
that
soup of the
day.
day.
Oh man, I don't know how we've descended into this,
This
but
is, this is what it is. This is what it is, mate.
it's I'm sure in the comments people can put
Oh.
their food fetish.
You'll
on there, you know what I mean?
you'll definitely be getting. You'll be getting ripped for the old square sausage,
aye,
round sausage.
aye, aye.
I can get that. You know, there's certain shapes of food that people might not want to eat,
Yeah.
but a square sausage is one. No, I knew somebody who, see on the cheese thing, they couldn't have hard cheese. So see, if you put a bit of cheddar in their mouth, they would dry bulk.
Right, okay.
Great fun at a party. Right, say when you're like fucking 8 cans deep, give him a bit of cheddar and he's pure dry bulk, and you're going, what's wrong with this
So
cunt?
going back to the cheese thing, right? I don't know why this is, right? Okay, so I don't.
I
like
think you need to
don't-
sit down with a therapist, mate.
I don't
Something's
like,
happened.
I don't like a piece of cheese, right? I
Right.
don't like cheese in a roll. I don't like cheese in a pizza.
Okay, but
I love cheese and toast.
so has it got to be melted?
It's got to be melted, but it's got to be.
But then-
it's got to be burnt. Can't it be slabbery?
Ah, you don't
Can't
like
it be all that
wet
kind of
cheese.
slabbery? It's got
Right.
to be.
So you don't like a cheese pool?
No,
That the thought of that drives you insane.
no,
right.
I can't do that,
So you
mate.
see folk doing this like with a toast and all
can't
that,
do
you're
that.
going, fucking
Oh, no.
filth.
Oh no, no. Can't even have butter on my fingers. Freaks me out.
Mate, where is this? Where is this came
know,
from?
mate.
We need to put you in like one of
Don't
the
know, mate.
water chamber things, and
Aye,
we
I
let you
don't know,
regress
mate.
to your
Aye,
childhood.
I don't know, mate. I think I need to go and see the food guy.
You need to talk to somebody, aye.
Aye, a
this
food
this could be like
therapist.
unlocking another level of creativity. Like you could have the ultimate DJ album in there.
Mark's going to be sitting here pissing himself watching this.
Like Mark's got his end demons, man. He's got the pond and the chickens, right?
He's loving it. He was showing me the pond the other day. He was in the studio the other day showing me the pond. He was all at it.
Him and fucking
Fucking amazing.
the Bold Ferguson, man. So he's now got a pond in his back garden, right? He went deep into fucking pond life, man. And then Sherry's went, super pond.
Aye.
Because he's obviously got the space.
Yeah, okay.
And I was like, Ross says, that looks like a good pond. He's
That's
like,
a proper
fucking
pond.
shiter pond, man. Shiter. Sherry's, that's a shiter. I was like, look at the two, man. Competing. He's like, I bet he wants fucking frogs. No, you're fucking
Oh, he was
nonsense,
telling me
man.
his frogs are there. They've appeared. The joy in the man's
Mate.
face was something to behold.
This is what happens
So
when you
it's-
get to that stage in life, right? Where you just think, do you know what? I'm going to fucking get a pond in the backyard. And then that's it. Then time and money, you can just delve into this
Do you know
thing.
what? Fair play. It's
Better that than a
he's
fucking
an
become a cyclist.
Incredible gardener, by the way.
But
You seen his garden? It's
I haven't
incredible.
got. I would sit and talk to anybody about anything, but I could never get on board with people who are gardeners. I don't understand. See, like the ones that go, the pleasure I get from my garden. What the fuck are you talking about? Mate, it's even cutting grass. Like, I have to psych myself up to cut my grass because I fucking hate it.
I just get one of the troops to cut it.
See, I need more troops in my life.
I just get Johnny to cut it, my mate. So the top gardener cuts the grass,
See.
cuts it back, then he goes up and cuts my moss.
See, that's what you want. That's the setup you need.
Yeah.
Is Sherry no convince you yet to get some chickens?
Nah,
No?
nah. I've not got time for chickens.
Mate, you think that, but
Just
just
got a daughter.
maybe she might like chickens.
Nah, she's not going to feed the chickens, man. Nah. Plus, I've got a kind of, the way my house sits, it's kind of a shared garden sort of thing. We are a kind of basement, first floor, second floor. third
Maybe you
floor.
need like communal chickens for everybody.
Aye, just kind of spray paint.
maybe
them
that's
different
how.
colours.
Maybe that's how we get over your egg barrier. You have your own yolks.
Aye.
Maybe this could be maybe that's what we need to do. Maybe we need to take you right back to like the beginning of the
beginning.
egg.
Yeah.
You need to see the chicken that's produced the egg.
Aye.
And then you go, look at that. Now, to be fair, but see, when I had chickens, right, and it was Big Gary, and he's like, see, when you have your first egg, mate, for your own chicken, it'll be like a cosmic journey through. Mate, see, when I first, I was like, it's an egg. Like, it's just an egg. All right, it's a pure orange yolk because he fed them corn, and it looks good, right?
And today's episode on Big Scott's Wildlife Good Podcast.
Welcome to Midlife Crisis Podcast, where we discuss chicken life.
I'm actually not in the music industry.
no,
you know,
mate,
we're in the food industry
Aye,
and
mate.
agricultural
That's
industry.
it. Aye. We're launching, this is our new podcast,
Yeah,
Gibson and Forbes,
Aye,
the
that's
gardeners,
it.
the
That's
gardening
it.
world.
The gardener's world.
Aye, it's just a normal egg, man.
Aye, that's it. Aye.
When you get it, it's still warm. And then there's a bit of going, it's because it's just out its arse. And now I'm cracking it and having it in a piece.
Aye, see, my brother, he stays in Ballantrae, in between Govan and Stranraer. And we went up and picked up eggs at this wee box.
Aye.
Is there wee boxes outside farms in it and you just
Aye.
leave money?
Yep.
You pick up
Wee
the
honesty
eggs.
box.
Aye, that's
Pick your
it,
eggs up
aye.
off you pop.
We've done that. I was quite impressed.
But you still want to have the yolk.
No.
The only thing, I mean, I get it. People are get different things, right? People are weird with stuff. But the cheese and a pizza is the one that gets me. That's the one I think.
I can have a pizza
Just with no cheese.
with no cheese at Domino's.
But do you know,
Guy looked at me as if taking a piss, didn't you?
well, I mean, there's obviously
I
one,
think
like,
if I'd won.
I've been to Naples, so there is like a famous, it's not a margarita, there is one where it's just tomato and anchovies, so there's no cheese on it, and that's
Yeah.
like a famous pizza.
Mm-hmm.
But you need cheese, mate.
But I'm sure Maria will correct me if I'm wrong.
Right?
Maria doesn't like cheese in a pizza.
I know, but
And see,
see,
as soon as Mal told me that, it made me feel better.
but then, see, that could be the Italian things. See, because they're all fucking mad with food. Because the first time when I was going over there, right, and I was
Yeah,
like,
I'm sure you can.
aye, let us know, Maria.
Aye,
Because
you
I
can let us know.
asked her once about a recipe for something. She's like, oh, that's the north. I was like, I don't give a fuck where it's from, Maria. I'm just asking you. But she's like, oh, but we don't make it. I was like, what do you mean you don't make it? It's the same country. And then it was all this big, oh, the north came down and fucking shot a farmer in 1804 and we don't cook bolognese. I'm like, what the fuck's going on here? That's why when I went to Italy all those times and you're trying to have food, even in Rome, the guy's like, that's not a Romani dish. And I'm like, mate, it's fucking just fucking give a carbonara, cunt. And then you come back to an Italian restaurant here and they don't give a fuck.
Aye.
That's why I think Italian food's better here than it is in Italy.
I'm not gonna. I can't.
Just do it, mate. Look right down that camera and tell Maria.
I'm not the one. I can't. I'm not the one that should
like
be
tomato sauce is tomato sauce all the world round.
I'm not a huge tomato sauce lover. You know what I mean? I'm not. You know,
What is your condiment of choice, David?
it's got to be an HP. Innit?
It's got to be an HP,
It's
mate.
got to be.
It's got to be. I mean, it's perfect for a square sausage, but you're not good in that road.
Aye. That's it.
Right, let's get back to the music.
Let's
Right,
put-
before we go.
let's-
So
let's park the.
I have got genuine questions for
Yeah,
you.
yeah, okay.
The The one thing first of all, a couple of things I want to ask you. No, again, the beauty of online, right? You don't know what's real and what's no. So, am I right in saying your first ever gig was Mayfair Club?
Yes.
That's right. Now, what was the Mayfair Club and where was it? Because it sounds like a strip club, if I'm going to be honest with you.
Yeah.
Right.
So,
Were you mixing for the girls coming on?
You'd be quite surprised. The Mayfair Club was previously at the garage.
Really? Right, okay.
Yes.
Like in that building?
Yes, in
right,
that
okay.
building. Yeah, so when I was coming, I started buying records. So there was a guy called Robert Peden.
Right.
And a pal I went to school with Peden. And he, I've said this a few times in interviews, and he, for me, was the first guy that had a set of turntables.
Right.
And everybody in the north of the city had a shot of these turntables.
Okay.
You know, because it was unheard of somebody having 2 decks and a mixer. And I thought I just thought I'd arrived at the promised land.
Right, okay.
You know, I'm just giving it, wow.
So is that the first time that you have had a shot
of decks.
Right, okay.
But prior to that, you know, my dad always bought me keyboards when I was younger, so I was always playing wee piano riffs and all that.
Aye.
But, you know, he played the accordion and the flute bands,
Right.
so he did, you know.
So he had a good staunch upbringing.
I wasn't brought up with that, you know, but
He dabbled.
he dabbled in the
dabbled
accordion,
in
so he
that. It's
did.
good to know.
Aye.
It's good for getting your grass
Aye,
cut.
that's
What's my dad's got a really strong pinky? Don't worry, your mom's grass getting cut.
So I had a shot of Peden's decks, and I was in the army at the time. Then I just get obsessed.
Right.
I think I'd been in the army about 12 months or something like that. I'd get obsessed with it. Then I started buying records down south. Then when I was coming back on leave, all my mates were going to the Mayfair.
Right, okay.
They were a bit older than me because I was still only 16, maybe just turned 17 at the time. And I had about 10 records to my name.
Right.
So I was going up with the 10 records. I was taking the 10 records in me.
Into the dancing?
Into the dancing.
Right.
And getting it. Because DJs weren't, at that point, it was maybe 1991, DJs weren't the focal point that they are nowadays. You know, they were just a guy at the side of the room playing music for people to dance to. That's why, hence, I was saying that to Mary. There's a wee comedian, Mary Beth Knight. She does an American lassie, but I was telling her, and she's like, what's the dancing?
Right,
And that's what
okay,
they're called, you know. Anyway, so I ended up giving it these records to the DJ, the 10 or 12 records that I had, and he started playing them. Place was going fucking crazy.
Can you remember any of those records?
I think it was like maybe The Prodigy was one of them, maybe Joey Beltram records, Mentasm, Energy Flash. You know, there was a few. Then, you know, as the months, because and months went on, it was like Shades of Rhythm, and, you know, I can't remember loads of them off the top of my head, you know. Insomniac, DGPC, you know, but the place was going bonkers.
And at that point when the place erupts, is there a bit in you that almost confirms I know music, or I can pick a track that I know will work?
No,
or is it more just like I think
we'd just been coming for the 80s, the late 80s, you know, 87, 88, you had Inner City and stuff like that, Soul to Soul and all those sort, and you had all the kind of, you know, electro records kicking about at that time. But I think maybe the people that had been going to the Mayfair at that time, or just in general, hadn't heard this sort of music before.
Yep.
You know, and I remember the DJ getting up.
You know, like wee man.
A shot. I was dying for a shot.
Right.
So eventually they started giving me a shot. I was only 17 still at the time. And eventually they started giving me a wee 20 minutes, 25 minutes here and there.
Right.
But then it became a regular thing. Then, you know, somebody hears, and then you had other places like Peggy's, you had the Mardi Gras, you had Paul and Jai and stuff like that doing the warehouse. But I was just still a pup. These boys were a few years older than me. You had Sean playing Peggy's and stuff like that. And but then your name starts to go about and stuff like that. Then obviously, because I started getting a wee bit of a name in Glasgow. Anyway, so I'd started doing the Mayfair. Then I just wanted to do the army.
Right, okay.
I enjoyed the army as well. I had a vision. This is what I'm going to do. Bam, 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 bam. This is what I'm going to do in the army. I had it all planned out what I wanted to do. And the music bug just got me.
And how hard or easy was that to get out the army?
Oh, it was tough.
Was it, right? And is that because I don't understand that?
I signed up for 3 years.
Right, and so you've got to get them 3 years.
You're locked in for the 3 years.
Right, and how what is the process of getting out then? Shoot yourself in the leg?
I mean, probably having to say things that you obviously...
Like, I don't like square sausage. Like, get this cunt out of here pronto.
That's it.
He's a wrongin'.
Aye.
You're no army material, son.
That's it. That's it. Do you know what? I still speak to my old sergeant.
Do you? Right,
I
okay.
done a gig in Bristol. Sid Cooper. Scariest man I ever met. But the most kind, humble...
That's what you want, though, isn't it?
human
Aye.
being you could ever meet at the same time. And he still follows me.
Aye.
So he does. He still follows my journey all the way through.
So-
Not just now, but...
Do you have to approach, like, your superior officers and say, I want to
Aye,
leave?
they've done their best to try and keep me in.
Right, okay.
So they did, they've done, I look back now and taking me out for meals and just want, because I was in the juniors for a year.
Right.
It's like kind of junior army. You did the 12 months of that before you get put into your,
Yep.
'cause I was only 16, came straight out of school, went straight into juniors for a year. Then you get posted to your regular adult kind of.
Now, see, at that time
Squadron.
in the house, is your mum and dad in the house?
Aye.
Aye, so what are your parents, when you say to mum, want to quit the army to go into music?
Mum, I was delighted.
Because she wants you at the
Aye,
army?
she didn't want me going
What's
in
your
the first
dad?
place.
How-
My dad
what's
was
his-
cool about it.
Right, okay.
They were cool. Then I bought a set of decks. And my mum and dad were super supportive.
Right, okay.
I mean, like, incredibly supportive all the way through. They just supported me. I was working with my dad. My dad had a wee catering business, but that he done well. But I wasn't. It's not as if I had tons of money or anything like
Aye,
that.
no.
I just had enough money. Any money that I had, I bought records. Aye, so I started doing the Mayfair.
But then also that thing, having a supportive framework of parents is probably worth more than having exponential cash.
They
at that
weren't
point.
constantly on my case.
Mhm.
You need to get a job. You need to get a job. You need to get a job.
Mhm.
Or you need to get a real job.
Yes.
Which you hear a lot of. You
Uh-huh.
know, so not once did they. It's mad because I don't really talk about what I do.
Right.
My mum will hear from other people about what I'm doing because I'm not one to just sit and I'm doing this and I'm doing that and
Aye.
I'm flying here or I'm playing
Aye.
in front of this crowd or whatever. I'm quite a
But then I mean,
quite grounded in that
sometimes
respect.
people will think that's weird, but I don't think somebody who comes in that works for like Barclays sits down with his mum and goes, listen, you want to see this email that I sent this week? Like, it's just your mum and dad, you just go on with it.
Yeah.
Doing
So
it.
they were super supportive. And that's, with doing the Mayfair and doing wee clubs round about Glasgow and so, look, all I wanted to be was Mark Smith.
Okay.
Do you know Mark?
No.
Never heard of Mark?
No.
You should get Mark on.
Right.
Mark was the dawn of
Right.
the DJs in Glasgow. He was in my eyes, the best DJ in our scene
Right.
to ever come out of Glasgow.
Now, what separates him
He
from
was
the
just
rest
a
at that point?
technically brilliant DJ back then.
Okay.
Again, Mark's a couple of years older, 2 or 3, I don't know, maybe 4 years older than me. But I remember hearing a Mark Smith take, and I'm just giving it, oh my God. I thought I was a
You're
DJ.
realising there's levels. There's levels to this game.
I thought I was a DJ, I don't know if I tell you this story, but I used to do tapes in the Mayfair when I was DJing, and I thought, only because Robert Peden showed me this,
Right.
you probably phoned me up and go, I never showed you that. You put the record on, you pull the pitch to full pelt. So
Right.
get in the motor, put the seatbelt on, turn the ignition and off you go. So
Right.
I put the record on, pull it to full pelt. I didn't know how to beat match at that point. I
Okay.
didn't even know that was a thing
Yep.
until I'll tell you in a minute. And I was done my tapes. People were buying them, then they come back the following week and say, tape was amazing, music was brilliant, but it's really fast.
Right,
You know,
okay.
it's really fast. Wonder how that is. I didn't know the pitch control.
Right.
I sped the records up. So, cut a long story short, another DJ from Glasgow, Mark McLaughlin, who was in, I still speak to Mark weekly, he came up and he knew the guy that ran the Mayfair.
Right.
So he came up and done a set. And I'm looking at this. It's the first time I'd seen Mark. I'm going, fuck me.
What's he do?
What is he
What are you
doing?
touching that for?
He was mixing them in time and all that. And I'm getting,
Right.
holy fuck. Wow.
This is a different level.
Different level. But he was friends with Mark.
Right,
You know,
okay.
so they were on, again, a couple of years older than me, they were on their wee kind of groups and stuff like that, so, I mean, there was a lot of incredible DJs that came out round about that early point. Then, working round about Glasgow led to getting a residency in Hangar 13 with Trevor and Neil.
What, see, in the Mayfair days, right, at the very start, what's the name? Are we still Davie Forbes?
Aye.
Right.
Again, it wasn't
That wasn't a thing
wasn't
then?
a thing then.
No,
It
right.
wasn't until maybe, it's mad how the scene progressed so quick in Scotland,
Yep.
for 91 or 1990, about 95. I'd say that was the peak 91 to 95, and in my wee world anyway. I'm sure there are different guys like John Mancini and Dale and Kilkie and all that were in their own ecosystem, because there was wee different ecosystems of different styles of music at that particular point, you know. So for that, I'd say for 91 for me, 91 to 96 it just started going down a hole for me. But
And what was the change in that? Was that just the change
the
in
music was just starting to get really poor.
Okay.
Really poor quality. I would say, you know, I genuinely believe at one point in Scotland we were the leading sound. We had our own sound, you know. We were bringing over all the Dutch acts and stuff like that, you know. And I think we had our own wee sound. Scott was obviously a pioneer of that. And Scott wasn't a DJ back then.
Right. Okay.
No, he's a DJ now, you know. But back then, the first few years, there wasn't that many DJs. When you think about it, in our scene, Mark Smith, myself, Davey Murray, Mark McLaughlin, you could say Guy, Techno Trance, Obsession, Bass Generator, you know, that were doing the rounds. I was still probably the youngest out of them, so they were, you know, Mark and all that were doing there. Then you had Mallocker doing the ultrasonic thing, Scott doing the QSX thing, and you know, you had the Ultimate Buzz and Rhythmic State and all that, and even we were doing the Active Force thing, me, Neil and Trevor at the beginning, you know. So there was all different wee kind of ecosystems within the rave scene at that particular point. So 91 to 96, and I think the music kind of just tapered off and the quality started going down a bit, you know, which was unfortunate. But I made a conscious decision, maybe 1997. I remember saying to Neil, we were in the Fuba, and I said to Neil once we were done, I was like, Neil, I'm done after this.
Really?
After I remember where I was, obviously in the Fuba, and I was like, Neil, I'm after this, I'm done. And I just had to.
Were you just like drained like creatively, or you just weren't happy where the scene was going?
Nah, the music was poor, and I just.
What are the audiences like at this point? Are they just it's not the same energy for it?
For me, I'd kind of lost the love for the.
Needed a break.
Needed a break, you know, and I wasn't a partier.
Okay.
You know, I was more focused, and you know, I never went to after parties and stuff. I was just more focused and try to write music and be a DJ and everything that came with that sort of thing, you know. So, after that gig, then my studio was in my living room,
right,
at the time, you know. So I just kind of spent the next 2 or 3 years
in there
honing, trying to figure out what sound I wanted. And I made a conscious decision to myself. It's mad how you remember all these things, whereas you can't remember yesterday. Through my life, you know, whether it be football, army, or whatever, I'd got to a good level. Then I went, I'm fed up. Then I'd go and jump and do something else.
Okay.
And I made a conscious decision. No, I put too much energy.
And I'm good at this.
And guts. I'm good at this. I know this is what I want to do. And I made a conscious decision to keep doing it. At that point, then I started doing kind of different styles of music. Took a couple of demos down to 23rd. Billy released a couple of tracks. It went on a couple of big Global Underground, which was quite a big compilation series. Nick Warren and Helen Catanale, proper kind of progressive guys. And that's when Mal and Roger heard this track.
Right.
And that's how I ended up working with
Mal
in 1998.
Right.
I moved into their studio in the Gustavs, which was another wee kind of chapter moving forward. Meeting Mal changed the trajectory. Is that how you say it? Trajectory of my music career moving forward to where I am now, I think.
Because that's a good point to pick up on, because I want to ask you about the famous studio. With, I mean, I don't know what stories we can. Well, obviously at this point we'll maybe need to bleep a lot out, but there's a few. I've got the button ready, but there's a few. I'll ask you about the shutters, but we'll be right back after these words from our sponsors. That's us, team. Part one is over. I hope you enjoyed that. Just brilliant. Just even listening back to some of that, watching some of that again. It's just great to have David back in the studio and just to sit down with him. I forget. I was saying this to someone last week. I forget just how big a DJ Davie is, and I know that might not make sense, but I forget that Davie and Mark and Mal as well. I forget just how big they were. You know, because to me, they're just my pals. They're just my daft pals, and I like having a laugh with them. But I forget just how big and busy and successful Davie is. But I'm sure you can tell from just that first part of the interview that he's arguably one of the nicest guys you'll ever meet, and the most humble man as well. He's just a good egg. He's just a good egg. So I thoroughly hope you enjoyed that. Part 2 will be out next week. The full episode or the full version of part 2 will be available to heroes only on Patreon, patreon.com/the hashtag show. It's the only way to get all of the episodes in full, and it's the best way to help support the show, to keep the show going, to keep the studio going, to keep the lights turned on. So if you want to get the full episode, if you want to check that out and you want to help support the show, please do consider becoming a hashtag hero, patreon.com/the hashtag show. Go to the hashtagshow.co.uk. All the links are there, or go to any of the social media pages. The links are in the bio for all that kind of stuff. Make sure you do subscribe to the show on Spotify. It's free to do so, and it helps us move up the charts. And if you can, whenever you see any of the reels or any of the little videos from the podcast, please do share them onto your social medias. Again, it just helps more eyeballs and more ear holes get onto the podcast as we continue to try and build. That's it for this week. Hope you enjoyed that. Hope you enjoyed part 1, and stay tuned for part 2 next week. And it's that's it. Nothing else to say. So look after yourself, stay safe, and I will speak to you all again very soon. And we'll be back next week for part 2 of Davie Forbes. Take care, team. Onwards.
Goodbye, dear hero, it's been a blast. For another week we say adios. If you came as a friend or even foe, then you should become a hashtag hero. Spread the show as far as you can. 1 million heroes or a lifetime ban. All we do is speak our minds. We hope you're around for the ride. We are the hashtag show. Everyone's welcome. No one is safe. Winter is coming, but we hate snowflakes. This is the hashtag show. Become a hashtag hero. Become a hashtag hero. Become a hashtag hero. Until next time, love, love, love.